Meantime, Secretary of State Antony Blinken denying any role in pushing that 2020 letter that aimed to discredit the New York Post reporting on Hunter Biden's laptop, all in an exclusive interview with our own Ben Hall.
Can you explain what your role was in that and if you incentivized it?
Well, first, one of the great benefits of this job is that I don't do politics and don't engage in it. But with regard to that letter, I didn't, wasn't my idea, didn't ask for it, didn't solicit it, and I think the testimony that the former Deputy Director of the CIA, Mike Morrell, put forward confirms that.
GOP strategist and former NASDAQ reporter Krysia Lenzo joins us now. Krysia, was this a good enough response? Wasn't my idea?
No, it is not a good enough response, point blank. It is very interesting that Antony Blinken said that he does not want to be political now, since he's been political from the get-go, even with the Hunter Biden emails that we've seen evidence of, that he's been consistently in communication with Hunter, and his emails were forwarded across to his business, Hunter's business partners, Devon Archer specifically, all having to do with Burisma. So why now he doesn't want to get involved with Hunter Biden, and what he has to put forward is very suspect.
What was curious about the tense that Blinken used there, he says, I don't do politics.
Yeah.
Whether or not you believe that, I mean, I don't necessarily believe that, but the tense is don't. He certainly did do politics back in October of 2020 when he wasn't part of any administration. He was just working night and day to get Biden in office so that he could be part of an administration. But I want to go back to what he said, because I think he's out and out lying. Former CIA Deputy Director Michael Morrell testified before Congress that Blinken was the impetus for the letter. Then you have Blinken right there saying he wasn't. Who's lying?
We'll have to find out. As of right now, we haven't heard from Blinken yet in front of the Judiciary Committee, but the letter doesn't lie. I mean, 51 ex-CIA directors, former heads of intelligence signed on to this letter that was significant in terms of being a huge part of the election and what occurred right before Donald Trump debated Joe Biden. I mean, this letter was really a telltale sign to put to rest anything that had to do with the Hunter Biden laptop and calling it disinformation. It was a complete farce.
Yeah, I mean, and Blinken, he repeatedly said he never emailed Hunter Biden, but messages from 2015 show something totally different. It shows an exchange between the two attempting to schedule a meeting. So how does something like this implicate him? Because the receipts show otherwise of what he's saying.
The receipts do show otherwise. We've seen the letters back and forth. We've seen Hunter Biden, as I mentioned, forward these emails across to Devon Archer. And yes, we even heard from a senator on Fox News talk about how he spoke to, it was under oath, and really explained how Blinken completely denied this. So if he denied this under oath, that's a huge, huge allegation that is ultimately a felony, right?
Yeah.
Meantime, got to get your thoughts on this. President Biden will finally meet with congressional leaders on the debt ceiling next week, but not before Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen wrote a letter yesterday to Speaker McCarthy saying, quote, after reviewing recent federal tax receipts, our best estimate is that we will be unable to continue to satisfy all the government's obligations by early June. That's much earlier than we originally anticipated, let me add, and potentially as early as June 1st. This does appear to be a cave by Biden. He seems to be the one that's saying, OK, I'm going to make the first step to get these Republicans in the door to sort of work on some numbers. But with regard to Yellen's statement, will that fear mongering ultimately get McCarthy to budge?
I think it is fear-mongering. And at this point, when it comes to Janet Yellen, we have to take her word, at face value, because she's the person who talked about transitory inflation. It's part of her policies of quantitative easing, which really set us up for the rate hikes with inflation and what Americans are feeling right now, which is very difficult. And the debt ceiling certainly plays a huge part in this with spending. Here, Janet Yellen is trying to push forward this fear-mongering tactic to get a deal, a negotiation across. But really, I don't trust Janet Yellen either, because we've seen her history. It's because of her we're in a lot of this, as I mentioned. And yes, it is also political. She's acting political as the Secretary of Treasury. She's no longer the Federal Reserve Chair. You could say that the Federal Reserve Chair is also can be political. But in this role, I don't know if her words really matter other than fear-mongering.
Yeah, I mean, McCarthy and the Republicans, they put forward a common sense bill saying you can raise the debt ceiling, but you have to cut in certain areas. Biden's pushing back on that. Ultimately, it falls on his shoulders and his administration. Do you think that he's going to budge on this at all? I mean, obviously, every year I feel like we hear, oh, we're going to run out of money. This is nothing new. But do you think Biden is actually going to budge on this?
He doesn't really have a choice unless he extends this to a point where we really reach that fiscal cliff, as we always are talking about that in the past. But Biden campaigned on unity. I would hope that he would want this deal to be negotiated because it would be really difficult for the economy. At a certain point, investors are going to be concerned about what happens to our budget and our debt. But right now, I mean, he's going to have to negotiate because the Republicans have passed the bill. In the House, Kevin McCarthy did a great job, and he got a lot of the COVID spending and cuts that are going to be clawed back. I think it'll be great.
It's important to always remind people that what Republicans, Kevin McCarthy, want to do is literally go back to what it was 4 months ago. Yeah. It's not like we're going back to 1980 levels. It's 4 months ago. Meantime, before we let you go, got to get your thoughts on this. A new poll finds only 16% of Americans have trust in the media, and additionally, 74% of Americans think the news media is increasing the political divide in our country. Your thoughts on that?
I think it all starts with education. When people in classrooms, when students in classrooms don't feel you don't have the capability to speak up because the teachers push back against them for having a different point of view because it is not the right point of view, the liberal point of view typically, then yes, it's going to lead into other areas, particularly in journalism. When there is a critical divide in our nation, there is really no discourse, unfortunately. There's no shows not too many shows that debate each other these days in fear that they'll alienate part of their audience, which at one point we used to do that. It's really kind of sad.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if we can ever come back from this because 16% of Americans trusting media, that's
low.
Yeah, that's not a lot. So it makes you wonder, how are we going to come back from this? Are we going to come back from this? You honestly, you just never know these days.
Especially with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Absolutely.
Stories exactly like that are, they're the main reason why we cannot
it was brushed under the rug, acting like it didn't exist, and now everybody's being forced to talk about it because it's still around 5 years later. Krysia Lenzo, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.